I did like an interview where I presented my fucking goldfish to these investors. Broden was there at the filming. Broden knows. That is the most...
When I saw that, seeing all this stuff, I was like, it's fake.
That's what a lot of people, they were like, is it real?
Yeah.
It was a real place. It was a real
Damn, you
place.
got balls, man.
It's in like Beverly Hills.
I'd be so awkward, though.
Dude, my manager told me that I was like, hey, could we find a like a startup convention? Because I've been to like startup events before. Well, you'll sit down with a team, you'll come up with a startup idea, and you'll present it to a panel of like boomer judges, and they'll like make fun of you for it because you suck. And I've done those before, and I was like, that would be really funny to do. That would be awesome to pitch the goldfish idea at that. And then he was like, COVID, boomers die when they get that. So there's none of those competitions out there. There was just this thing. And I had no idea what it was until we walked into it. And it was like, this is just a house we're presenting in their living room. Yeah. And it was I think the most awkward, like the most embarrassed and awkward I have ever felt in my life. I don't blame you. Yeah. Because, bro, I edited it as well as I could to make it seem good. But it took me like 2 days to get through the footage, not because it was hard, but because my sympathy for cringe is so powerful. I remember getting through like, I was like, oh, that was really bad. I got done with like an editing session. It took me like an hour, and I looked back and it was like 1 minute in. And I was like, that is so, it was so, I took so many pauses. You were there. Broden was there. He helped me film it. Thank God. I was like stuttering. I was like, there was a point where I said, I'm sorry, I'm just having a really hard time. And they all started like, you can do it. And I was like, it was the worst. It was the worst thing ever. It was really bad.
What were they expecting?
We went in and they were expecting a real company. That was like all real. The fact that they were expecting a real company. And it was fun because in the footage you can see like when each of them figures it out, kind of. Some of them go to the end. All the way to the end. One guy you can see like he like starts smiling a little bit more, and that was cool to see. But yeah, that was a real place.
Well, and also at the end, wasn't there one guy who was like, so I know this is like a meme, but like, can I invest?
Yeah, there were a couple people who were like, it's a funny joke, and they were asking like real questions. They were like, what is the team around this? Like, and it was like when they already knew it was a fish, and I was like, that's interesting that you would ask that.
Because the camera's pointing.
That must have been hard to watch.
Well, for me, I didn't know if it was a bit or not.
Yeah, he wasn't in front of
Oh, yeah. Dude, it was so funny. I was like stuttering and shit, mumbling over my words because I had to finish. I got like 2 days heads up. I made a whole presentation, did everything, came up with a speech and shit. And like afterwards, one of the girls came up to me and she was like, after she found out it was a meme, and she was like, you did such a good job of pretending like you didn't know what you were doing and acting cringe. I was like, yep, I am a genius.
There's a weird pocket of like people that I didn't know existed. Like, going there was like oh wow, this is like,
you're real.
A small community of real people.
Yeah, they had no idea like what's going on YouTube or Twitch or anything, except for there's some who are doing social media companies, but like they completely removed, our same age, but they're like just startup grinders. And it was a pretty interesting
I think that's
place.
part of what made it kind of seem a little fake. Was
Seemed
like,
fake, right?
It's like a house. It was like they're just crowded on a couch.
Just like walking in, we were like, this isn't real. This isn't a real place. This is fake. Yeah. Do you fucking hate food? Do you like? You must fucking hate talking about it at this point, at least.
No, I mean, I always quote, Kobayashi, the legendary competitor. He put it really good, and I've always used this quote. It's something to the nature of like, all I do is eat food fast all the time. When I get to sit down and eat some food normally, I appreciate it that much more, No, when I get the opportunity to dive into some cuisine, try some new places and stuff, I love it. It's great.
Oh, okay. That's really nice. It must be weird to have like, because I'm sure that's like the only fucking thing people ask you.
It's
like,
up there. Yeah, it's
like,
a common
it's
question.
Up there. Like, it must suck to have that become like, not suck, but how does it feel like having that become like a main part of what people ask you? And it like almost is like a personality trait that you eat food fast. Is it annoying?
I don't think so, because it makes my life easy. I gotta answer the same questions over.
Are you asking this because of the questions you get with taser, turtles, and when are you gonna upload again?
Well, this shit's like turn up to 1 billion.
Sure.
It's like, I kind of, oh man. Yeah, I mean, my shit is like kind of annoying, but it's like, I'm sure whenever people see you, they're like, eat this. Eat this fucking hot dog fast. It's like,
Okay,
and it's like,
that's where I'll draw the line. It's never happened before, but if somebody walks up to me in the stream's like, hot dog, got a timer, I'll just be like, yo, chill, man. Back off.
Have you ever gotten food poisoning at a competition?
Not at a competition, no. I don't know. I've been lucky for the most part. And now that I think about it,
yeah, because I assume they're just preparing like mass quantities.
Yeah,
of food,
no,
like the day before.
Yeah, no, and like a lot of people ask me, like, do you think you were born for this? Like, I don't think I was born for this, but I was born with like little allergies and stuff, and so I think I'm resilient, like dietary wise for the most part. But yeah, I've been fortunate. I think the worst that has happened was just I ate a bunch of tamales, spicy jalapeno oil in the masa, and just something about that combination. It was like a rock. It didn't move as it normally should and stuff. It was just sitting there burning the crap out of me, and it just felt like I was dying.
Do you guys think it's harder to be a streamer or a YouTuber?
I think it's harder to be a streamer. I think it is. I think it's probably more mentally taxing to be a streamer. At least because I've tried both. And I don't stream anymore, but I still do YouTube. So, yeah. In streaming, I'm like, oh God, I hope I don't say something horrible today.
Sure.
But on YouTube, it's like I can say anything, and then I'm in Premiere, and I'm like, "F***ing get that out of there. That's bad."
Yeah, right.
And so yeah,
you can take a couple takes those stress
yeah,
off
do as much
that,
as you want. Yeah, but on streaming, it's like you do it, you say a thing, it's there forever. You're done. I don't know. It's such a constant thing too.
A lot of people skip over the middle of my eating challenges because I guess they
it's
know
hard.
that
yeah,
maybe,
it's hard.
so they skip over certain parts and just trying to figure out all that stuff.
That's interesting.
Nice.
You say that about the middle part of the videos, because I assume that's like a really hard part to get people to watch.
Sure.
Because it's like they know you're eating in that middle part, and there's nothing that is different about it. Have you thought about like ways to make that like a different thing? It sounds really difficult.
I mean, there's always a million different ways to potentially do something, but like how to actually like integrate it, like in a way that's not. I forget. I was just watching some random video, and then the guy just like he just like screamed, and it's like doing that for the AVD just to like keep you guys and I was like, okay, and the really hard part I guess for me is just like I can't just stop eating for like, all right, break time, or so yeah, I don't know, that's something I haven't figured out yet. Like, how about you guys? I mean, do you guys have?
No, I hate
Michael.
I'm done. I got mine for the year.
I was gonna I didn't want to say anything, but like, how long was it since your previous?
I'm finished.
Video?
I was actually 8 days away from being 1 year. I read in the comments.
1 year.
Or one commenter. Yeah, 8 days away from being 1 year. So that sucks.
A little motivate. Yeah, I've had that. Like, damn, it's been a whole month. Like,
yeah.
Geez.
So I'm trying to get back on it as much as possible. But I really don't. I'm not a fan of just rigid scheduling. Like, it's really good for maybe like a month or so when I'm like, holy shit, I'm a productive member of society for this month. But then I just like get tired of it and like lose, and I just like have to change something. So it doesn't work too well for me. Just do whatever's. This is how you're talking about keep doing the competitive eating while in conjunction with the YouTube, right?
Yeah, if anything, like the competitive eating, that never got old for me for the most part, because there was always more. You could always get better. You can always. Right. There's always going to be Joey Chestnut pushing me and trying to beat him, and always another record that you're chasing or something. Whereas like the YouTube, it's just like, there's sometimes where it's like, all right, people just want to see me eat the spiciest thing in the world and see me sweat again or something. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I remember it didn't do it by choice, but I remember when I was doing a spicy challenge one time, I rubbed my eye on accident. It's like the biggest no-no, and it just started killing. In the middle of that pain, though, my brain was like, this is so good, because they weren't that spicy either. The wings weren't that like crazy spicy, so I was like, oh, this is golden,
Shit. And then the next time you see spice on your hand, you're like, maybe.
Yeah. Hey, I can't say I didn't have that thought ever. But it was never enough to compel me. So.
I imagine it's more profitable to just be like a YouTuber, right? Because we were talking about this, like we're talking about that Dr. Mike guy on YouTube, and it's
it's like he should quit being a doctor, because his YouTube channel will just pay him more money.
Like, he'll make more money.
Doctors get good pay too. Yeah.
I was wondering the other day about GeoGuessr. Like, do you think that he has ever been, or like, do you think there's someone in like the CIA or the FBI, or Interpol, an international organization that like has the GeoGuessr guy? It's not like him, but like they have their GeoGuessr guy who can guess a place off like a photo, or They must, right?
I like to think they
because that's an incredible skill.
To GeoGuessr guy, they're like, we can't figure this out.
We need your help.